Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I'm Braden, this is Langley Outdoors Academy, and thank you for stopping by. Guys, I have news that I never thought I was going to report to you, ever, regarding the Second Amendment. Now, if you've been with me for about 7 to 8 months, we have been striving and driving really hard on the Second Amendment advocacy. The blessing of the Second Amendment is going to be passed on to our next generation, and that's what we cover every night. We've got W's, we got L's, we got left coast, we got northeast, we got middle of the country. We got all sorts of things that we're stepping into from the culture battle over the Second Amendment. We cover it every single night, but now Mexico's jumping in the fray. It's like when two brothers are fighting each other and we're kind of having our own little quabble, and then all of a sudden some other kid from across the street jumps in. Well, Mexico just jumped into the gun control battle in the United States. Rude. Basically, what they're doing now is they're suing gun manufacturers in the United States. This is crazy town, and the reason that they're citing the $10 billion lawsuit for damages is due to the fact that cartels, criminal cartels in Mexico, use guns, and therefore it's the United States companies' manufacturers' liability. Therefore, they want $10 billion in a federal U.S. court. We're going to go into it deep here in a second. The article is linked in the description box below. This is the biggest thing I've seen in a while. I did not expect to ever cover something like this. So guys, what we're striving for is we're driving towards the Second Amendment advocacy. We're going every single day, and we're the tip of the spear. If you feel like we earn your subscription, we'd love to see you here and welcome you back every single night as we drive forward our rights together. But enough of that. If you think we earn that subscription, it's right below. Check out the description box for the article itself and let me know what you think on this video. All right, here we go. Whew, this is getting spicy. All right, here we go. Let's do this. Mexico sues U.S. gun manufacturers over arms trafficking toll. I'm not making this. I thought I'd make this up, but I'm not making this up. Mexico City, AP. The Mexican government sued United States gun manufacturers and distributors Wednesday in U.S. federal court, arguing that their negligent and illegal commercial practices have unleashed tremendous bloodshed in Mexico. Not the cartels or the illegal drug trade that fuels the cartels. Not that. It's the guns. Does this sound familiar? I don't know, U.S. cities have tried to do for a while? Put a pin in that because we're going to come back to it. But now, Mexico's coming into it. It's like, remember the Alamo 2.0. Santa Anna's coming back, baby, with a vengeance. All right, little history joke for y'all. The unusual lawsuit. Yeah, unusual. The unusual lawsuit was filed in U.S. federal court in Boston. Shocking. Among those being sued are some of the biggest names in guns, including Smith & Wesson Brands, Inc., Barrett Firearms Manufacturing, Inc., Beretta USA Corp., Colts Manufacturing Company, LLC, and Glock, Inc. Good luck with those. Another defendant is Interstate Arms, a Boston area wholesaler that sells guns from all but one of the named manufacturers to dealers around the U.S. Listen how they're arguing this. The Mexican government argues that the companies know that their practices contribute to the trafficking of guns to Mexico and facilitate it. Mexico wants compensation for the havoc the guns have wrought in its country. Again, it's the tools' fault. It's not the cartels. I mean, the largest criminal organizations in the world, well, they use guns, so it's the guns' fault. It's the largest... I can't. By the way, just thought of a new jingle. You heard of avocados? It's not avocados anymore. Gun control from Mexico. Just thought of that. I don't know why, but whatever. I'm going to have some fun with this because it's just too depressing. All right. Alejandro Salori, legal advisor for the ministry, told reporters Wednesday that the damage caused by the trafficked guns would be equal to 1.7 to 2% of Mexico's gross domestic product. The government will seek at least $10 billion in compensation, he said. Mexico's GDP last year was more than $1.2 trillion. That's the one that they know about. You know what I'm saying? Steve Shadowin, the lead attorney representing Mexico, said that in the early 2000s, about 30 U.S. cities brought similar litigation against gun manufacturers, arguing that they should be responsible for increased police, hospitalization, and other costs associated with gun violence. Does this sound familiar? Left San Jose, left California, sound familiar? Only it's on a national scale now? Check it out. It's going to tie right back into the federal government and the left gun grabs. Here we go. As some cities started winning, gun manufacturers went to Congress and got an immunity statute from the manufacturers. Shadowin said he believes the immunity doesn't apply when the injury occurs outside the United States. Really? Interesting. That's very fascinating. So now let's talk about what he's actually talking about. And this was where it ties into the gun grabbers and the gun controllers in this country, not Mexico. All right? So this is the law. And if you guys have been with me, let me know in the comments field below what you've seen regarding this law, this little exemption in Congress. It's the PLCAA. Biden has talked about repealing it. They put up legislation to repeal it, and we've covered it a lot on this channel. The Protection of Lawful Commerce in Arms Act, PLCAA. It's a United States law that protects firearm manufacturers and dealers from being held liable when crimes have been committed with their products. Very similar to a company that makes cars or anything of that nature. They're not liable for drunk drivers, but they want guns to be liable. That doesn't make any sense. That's why the PLCAA exists. Also, there's a medical industry that is completely exempt from any bad things that happen with their products as well. I'm not going to say what it is because #YouTube. But let's be honest, it's not just firearms. And so that's what we've hit on the far left in this country, at the Congress, at the congressional level. But now listen to what they're saying from Mexico, okay? The merits of the case are strongly in our favor, and then we have to get around this immunity statute, which we think we're going to win. That's the PLCAA, he said. That statute just simply doesn't apply. It only applies when you're in the United States. Oh! So it's when you're in the United States, so you can sue me from outside the United States, an American company inside U.S. federal court, but you can't do it if you're in... Sounds like you're reaching. By the way, just a little side note, do you think the countersuit to this might be, I don't know, all the billions and billions and hundreds of billions and thousands upon hundreds of thousands of lives since the 80s from, I don't know, illegal and illicit drug trade from south of the border? This is going to be messy and it's kind of stupid. If the United States is responsible for gun manufacturing and gun deaths, then wouldn't that make sense that the other countries in that area of the world would be responsible for the exports of that world, even if they're illicit? Just saying. All right. So, that's that piece. He said he believes it's the first time a foreign governor has sued the gun manufacturers. Yeah, because you guys went national. That's all. And here is why they're doing it. Every time something happens, you always reach back to what has been the precedent, and this is the precedent. If you guys paid attention, earlier last week, Remington settled with some families who had sued them over actions that occurred years ago, right, in a very tragic event. It cited a decision in California allowing a lawsuit against Smith & Wesson to move forward, a lawsuit filed last week against Century Arms related to a 2019 shooting in Gilroy, California, and the $33 million settlement reached by Remington with some of the families whose children were killed in the Newtown, Connecticut mass school shooting, all of which were tragedies. But now they're using those settlements as precedent to sue on a federal level from outside the United States because they think that they're exempt because they're a foreign entity. Mexico? That's not cool. But that's what's happening. They're actually suing gun manufacturers, and this is just a nationalized left movement to take out the gun manufacturers, because what is the benefit? Mexico can't control gun crime, can't control crime or organized crime in their state, their country. Do you really think it's the national gun manufacturers of the United States that are fueling that? Do you think they're going to sue Russia and China? Maybe Cuba? Any of those other illicit import places for firearms? I wonder. I wonder how that would go. Let me know what you guys think, because this is breaking news. Until tomorrow, I'm Braden. See you later.